Hello, and welcome to SAI TV. My name is Fanyo Mwindi, and thank you for joining us today. So there's lots going on in the world of civic science. And as I always say, there's simply too much to cover in the time that we do have. With that said, though, this week, we wanted to bring you up to speed with the recently concluded AAAS Conference. And for those of you who do not know, AAAS is the American Association for the Advancement of Science annual conference that takes place. And so this year, it took place in Washington, D.C. between March 2nd through the 5th. And the theme for this year, Science for Humanity. The conference brought together experts from diverse fields discussing breakthroughs in science and technology and their impact on society. There were several plenary sessions, including discussions on the past, present, and the future of our research enterprise, the innovation ecosystem, and the importance of history of science. Now, we of course here are biased towards everything: civic science, science communication, public engagement with science, you name it. And so the conference took time to recognize the importance of public engagement with science through the presentations of 3 prestigious awards. So the first one was the AAAS Philip Hague Abelson Prize, which was awarded to Sekazi Mtingwa, a theoretical physicist. The award recognizes someone who has made significant contributions to the scientific community, whether through research, policy, or civil service in the US, as the AAAS states on its website. Sekazi Mtingwa is full of accolades, and I encourage you to go on the AAAS website to learn more about the body of his work, covering spans of diversity and inclusion, and of course, to also his core research. The next award was awarded to Jay Gardiner, and this was the AAAS Early Career Award for Public Engagement in Science. And so this was awarded for her use of comics to communicate with children and adults about science and scientists. Gardiner is a postdoctoral research associate at Fox Chase Cancer Center. Again, I encourage you to check out her work, which is very inspiring. The next award was the AAAS Mani L. Bhumik Award for Public Engagement with Science. This was presented to Neil Garg for his engagement with a range of audiences and the tools he has developed to meaningfully increase public engagement with science. So I encourage you to go to the website to learn about his work. It's actually quite impressive looking at his focus, particularly on chemistry, given his research. And so it's just really inspiring to see these awards, to learn more about the work that they're doing. And just to share with you all, there is ongoing research about the impact of such awards on the enterprise more broadly. At least one thing we know for sure, it is that it increases the visibility of the work that is being done by individuals out there and highlighting the importance of such activities. So we look forward to seeing more awards and seeing even more people getting involved. Now, the conference wasn't just about the latest scientific achievements and advancements. It also tackled a lot on how to communicate effectively and how to engage the public and the policymakers. And of course, as I told you, we are biased towards those elements. So the conference included several workshops on civic science, which focused on how to bridge the gap between scientific research and its impact on society. I mean, you got workshops, you had these, as I mentioned, and of course, you had a lot of those hallway meetings, encounters. For many of people attending, this was the first time they had met each other in person after the pandemic. So it really was a coming together of people reuniting and reconnecting. And that certainly was the sense I got while I was there looking around. And I sensed that too when I was re-engaging with people I'd only seen through Zoom. So these workshops included, for example, titles like Establishing Boundary Spanning Scientists and Civic Leaders Across Sectors, The Science of Storytelling, A Roadmap for Strategic Engagement, Making STEM research topics more accessible through short films, Effective Communication, Outreach to Inform Evidence-Based State and Local Policy, Policy Entrepreneurship 101, Practical Tips for Getting Stuff Done in Government. And I can keep on going. I encourage you to go to their website and look at the synopsis of these initiatives and the people that were running the sessions. Now, unfortunately, there were some technical glitches, which unfortunately forced the organizers to suspend the virtual portion of the conference about midway through the conference. Of course, many were saddened by this. The organization stated that they promised to record all the sessions and make them available after the meeting, which is great. They also provided full refunds to all virtual participants and extended the 1 year of AAAS membership, which includes access to the science family of journals. So our special contributor, Shiva Asma, had this to say about the conference. Quote, "The AAAS is a great place to meet others interested in the implications of science, network with fellow scientists, communications, and policy pros, and learn a lot about the myriad ways science can be applied outside of the laboratory. I definitely recommend attending events at AAAS to anyone who might be interested." End quote. It's worth mentioning that AAAS is not the only conference that is bringing together civic science entrepreneurs, scholars, and practitioners from around the world. It certainly is the start for this season, and they've definitely set a really great foundation for all that is to follow. For example, Science Talk happening in Oregon later on, the PCST network in Rotterdam, check that out, ComSciCon at Harvard, Inclusive SciComm Symposium later on in the fall, and the Association of Science and Technology Centers in Charlotte, who will be having their meeting up also in the fall, and everything else in between. Of course, you will find some scientific conferences that have dedicated sections on connecting science and society, like the Society for Neuroscience that is also happening in Washington, D.C. later on. So it's really exciting to see the burgeoning of these conferences and focus on civic science, science policy, science communication, and including these boundary spanners, as the frame goes, to connect the dots, to bring disparate fields together and make an impact out there. Now, you are all caught up. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you next week. This is Fanuel at SAI TV.